You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans, I've got your weekly prediction edition. We're going to talk about Thomas and Sheila stunning the wedding guest. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got predictions for Sheila and Deacon, for Thomas and Hope, for Eric and Ridge, for Katie and Eric, and also for Bill and Ridge. If you're not following us, please reach down, hit that subscribe button. Let's jump in. Our very first prediction, Sheila crashes the elope wedding. So Wednesday spoilers have Hope and Liam's wedding kicking off. It's going to carry on through the end of the week. And we've got Little Beth as the officiant. She's welcoming guests. Also next week, Taylor is warning Sheila that she cannot crash Hope's wedding and says it'd be crazy. And Sheila snaps and demands to know if Taylor thinks she's crazy. I mean, come on. I'm sure she does. She's a licensed psychiatrist. So last week, Sheila was telling Deke about how excited she was to be at the wedding, even though Deke clearly thinks Sheila is deluded and dangerous and doesn't belong there. But Sheila is convinced that she belongs on Deacon's arm as his plus one at the wedding, and she thinks that's going to signal her acceptance, among the social circle. So I do suspect Sheila may crash the wedding because she feels entitled to be there. Taylor's going to advise her, don't do it, don't crash it. But Sheila is not going to have any impulse control. And if she shows up at the wedding, which to me seems likely, obviously, Deacon would be totally horrified, and he may have to haul his wife out of there before she upsets his daughter Hope and destroys her big wedding day. And if it goes that way, if she crashes and Deacon hauls her out, I'm sure Sheila would be heartbroken and also furious that Deacon didn't take her side and didn't fight for her to stay. And if Sheila does pull a stunt like this, it's going to wind up a topic in a therapy session with Taylor and Deacon. And all that Sheila's stunt may accomplish is just bringing her husband Deacon closer to Taylor. Our second prediction, Thomas gives his blessing to Hope and to the happy couple. So Wednesday through Friday of next week, we have Douglas Forrester at his mom Hope's wedding. Obviously, Douglas isn't old enough to fly from France to Los Angeles alone, so that could be why we've got Matt Atkinson shooting scenes again. He's come and gone. He was only there for a week, and it seemed to overlap with when Henry Joseph Samiri was on set, the young actor who plays Douglas. So it could be that Thomas brings Douglas to LA for Hope's wedding, and if Thomas is in town, he may have some words with his ex, Hope. Because the last time Thomas was in town, he didn't speak to Hope, but he gave Brooke his blessing to be with Ridge, even though they had just broken Taylor's heart, which is kind of insane and very un-Thomas-like. But if he's the one who delivers Douglas to be there for Hope's wedding, he may very likely give Liam and Hope his blessing. I don't think Thomas is going to stick around. I think this might be some sort of moment of closure where Brad Bell has cut ties and is going to crush Thope fans once and for all. I know a lot of people are hoping he's going to swoop in, crash the wedding, steal the bride. That would be very soapy. I don't think Brad Bell's going to do it. So Thomas may drop off Douglas and congratulate Hope and say that she's meant to be with Liam. And then Thomas just steps out of the way so he's not at the actual wedding and leaves Douglas to celebrate with his adoptive mom and stepdad. And if that's the way it goes, which I feel like it might, I think that is going to solidify that Thomas won't be an issue for Hope and Liam, and that Thomas isn't going to be around anymore, except for just drop-ins like we're seeing. Our third prediction, Eric explodes on Ridge. Will he try and fire his son? Monday, Bold and the Beautiful spoilers have Eric just on fire, telling Ridge that he didn't listen to what he was saying. Eric made it clear he's not done designing. He's not ready to walk away. But Ridge is going to tell Eric, I listened, but I'm not going to change my mind. Eric is refusing to be pushed out. And Eric and Donna are both very upset in spoiler photos from next week. I can't show you for copyright reasons. So it is horrible to think that Ridge and Brooke just decided to tell Eric he's been forcefully retired. here's some champagne, here's a balloon bouquet. Okay, bye. I mean, that's what they're doing. It's one of the most arrogant and presumptuous things that Ridge has done. Totally insensitive. So, I mean, who can blame Eric for being furious with Ridge? I think Eric may explode and actually say that Ridge is fired. I mean, Eric's take on it may be that if Ridge wants to toss him out of FC, the company he founded, then Eric can toss Ridge out. You know, he may try and fire his ungrateful son, but even if Eric tries to, he doesn't have the authority to fire Ridge. If you remember, Steffy and Eric each have equal shares in Forrester. Together, they own 75%. They each own like 37.5%. So bottom line, Eric would need Steffy on his side to fire Ridge. Ridge owns, like 20% or something. And maybe Thomas has 5%, I think. Anyway, but Steffy is clearly on the let's retire grandpa team. So obviously she's going to throw in with Ridge, which means that Eric doesn't have the power to fire anybody. And of course, Eric's family is worried about his health, but this is not the way to show concern. Ridge is going about everything the wrong way. Steffy is supporting him. Brooke is supporting him when they should be telling him to slow his roll. And if he lashes out and can't fire Ridge, Eric may do something else. Our fourth prediction, Katie quits Forrester Creations. So Katie feels like Brooke and Ridge aren't supporting her because they hired that PR firm to replace her. And like Ridge and Brooke did with Eric, they're just kind of being high-handed and presumptuous about Katie's role at FC, and they didn't even consult her. And like with Eric, it feels to Katie like Ridge doesn't value her. You know, she even told Ridge that he didn't really seem that concerned because he was busy arguing with Bill about it. And also Ridge is feeling very self-important right now, like I'm too busy to deal with you because I'm the most important person at the company. Katie is so upset, and that led Bill to this confrontation with Ridge this past week. And of course, he hates Bill and he doesn't care what he thinks. And Katie now has this great job offer over at Spencer. I do suspect Katie may quit because she doesn't feel needed or appreciated at Forrester. And she may commiserate with Eric because they both feel underappreciated and not valued. This could be a big life change for Katie. She may leave FC and never look back. Our fifth and final prediction, Bill targets Ridge. Will he launch a rival fashion house? So Bill feels that Ridge is disrespecting Katie. And of course, Bill has hated Ridge forever. I doubt Bill will be happy just taking Katie away from Forrester Creations. I think he's going to want payback on Ridge. Obviously, Katie's going to hear from Donna about the forced surprise retirement party and them disrespecting Eric the same way they did her. Katie may tell Bill what they did to Eric. And so Bill may cook up a notion to start a rival fashion house under the Spencer name, bring Eric and Katie on board, maybe even Donna and Will and Electra too, and all that would make Ridge's head explode, especially if they could lure Hope away. That would be interesting too.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.